So the fourth pattern is be good. We are shifting our understanding of what the purpose of a corporation is. And this has actually been underway for about a decade now, but now is accelerating. Traditionally, people thought that corporations existed to serve one master. And that goal was to maximize shareholder value. But increasingly, companies are realizing that if you only focus on shareholders, you create resistance to your growth, and then that actually diminishes shareholder value. A smarter strategy is one that benefits shareholders by also benefiting the community, employees, the environment, the world. When your growth is good for all stakeholders, that's the ultimate strategy, because then there is no competition. Everybody wants you to win. Let me be clear, I'm not saying only that it is good to be good. What I'm saying is even if your goal is purely profit maximization, purely value creation for your shareholders, the smart thing to do if you take a long-term perspective is to do good in the world. You no longer get to choose between profit and good. And now we're seeing successful companies really embracing this. My wife, for example, works at MasterCard, and she's more engaged at work now than she's been in for the last 15 years because their CEO has aligned the company behind the idea that it is a force for good in the world. Now, what he says is we're not a social enterprise. We are a for-profit enterprise. But by the way, our strategy is good for the world. You see, because we are driving for a world beyond cash. 90% of transactions in the world are still cash. We're going to convert those to digital transactions and we'll capture our fair share of it. And that is how we will create value. But by the way, in a world beyond cash, a drug dealer is not going to sell drugs to your child and have that not be traceable. A world beyond cash creates accountability. It creates transparency. It creates a better world. And what does that do? That increases shareholder value because it engages customers, especially millennial customers and employees. There are more entrepreneurs that want to innovate on MasterCard's platform. Many of the fintech technologies that you may be familiar with are built on MasterCard's rails. It increases shareholder value. It creates strategic power. There are business models that are really interesting built around this concept. For example, one of my favorite is called Stockpile. Stockpile is a company that sells stock, but they don't sell it to adults, they sell it to children. And they don't sell it to help you get a return, they sell it to help you increase financial literacy. Now, I'm a second generation American. I didn't grow up with a lot of good kind of financial education from my parents. There was a time when I lived on food stamps, I was on free and reduced lunch, and my wife and I are committed that our kids don't make some of the same mistakes that we made early in our career. We're doing fine financially now, but we're really committed that our kids learn financial well-being practices early on. So now, on their birthdays, instead of buying them a gift card for the Gap or for Amazon, we buy them a gift card for, say, $50 of Stockpile stock. Now, they go onto this website. It's beautifully designed, especially for kids, very colorful. They don't show the Microsoft logo. They show the Xbox logo. They don't show the Mattel logo. They show the Barbie logo. So it's something that kids can relate to. Now, my oldest son, Lucas, he bought $50 of Berkshire Hathaway stock. Now, if you know Berkshire Hathaway's stock price, it's about $250,000. He doesn't own a whole share. He owns incremental share. Berkshire Hathaway lets Stockpile sell incremental shares of its stock. Why? Because they're doing it for good. I have another friend who years ago, he wanted to, for purely profit reasons, take Berkshire Hathaway stock and sell incremental shares. He very quickly got a letter from Berkshire Hathaway's lawyer saying, no, you can't do that. But Stockpile can do that. So my son buys Berkshire Hathaway. My daughter, she buys Amazon. And now they compare their stock prices. When there's a stock decline in tech stocks, my son immediately pulls up his app to compare how he's performing versus his sister. And now we have conversations that are really rich, the kind of conversations that I wish that I had had with my parents when I was young. Here's a short video of my daughter explaining why she bought Amazon stock. What'd you invest in?
Amazon. And the Amazon thing went up 91.67% higher.
Wow. For how long?
I don't know. And I got $9.17 more.
Nice. You made $9.17 without doing anything.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice to make money without doing anything?
But look at how it goes.
Wow. Why did you invest in Amazon?
Because I like Amazon. Because I get toys and movies. Amazon Prime there.
So you figure it's a good company?
Yeah. Plus they bought Whole Foods.
Oh, good.
And I had it before they bought Whole Foods, so it went like...
Isn't that great? Here is a 12-year-old girl talking about Amazon's acquisition of Whole Foods and what that did to the stock price. That makes me feel proud. So it's important to step back and ask yourself, how can you engineer a strategy in which your growth is good for the world? A couple sub-questions to ask is, what can we stop doing that's bad? What can we start doing that's good? How can we better align the good stuff we do behind our brand and purpose? And how can we better communicate the good that we do? For example, MasterCard didn't change its business model. It just more authentically communicated why its growth was good for the world.